Now, did stones rain from heaven at some point during the reign of Tullus? Livy tells us that something like that happened. And this happened after he had basically conquered the Albans. And he had brought them to Rome to become, made them citizens of Rome. And then there were reports about rocks falling from heaven. Now, I welcome you to my YouTube channel where I explore ancient texts. And ancient texts here, I mean texts that have been around for thousands of years. And at the moment, we are going through the book or the text from the founding of the city by Titus Livius. It's a collection of books, in fact. It's not a book, it's a collection of books that were written by Livy about 2,000 years ago. So if you've not subscribed, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos I upload. Plus you upload, subscribing will also help me reach a wider audience. Now, so there were these reports that reached Tullus, the king of Rome, that rocks were falling from heaven. And they were raining. In fact, the language Livy uses is that rocks were raining. And they were raining on an Alban Mount. There was a mountain known as, that used to go by the name Alban. And it was in the part of the world where the Alban people lived before they were moved to Rome. And I need to point this out, that the Alban people were basically relatives of the Romans, because this city was founded by people who basically were the ancestors of Romulus and most of other people who came to be part of Rome. So there were these rocks falling on this mountain, and initially they were just rumors. And Tullus decided to send people to go and check, his own people, of course. So he sent them there, they go there, and while they are there, more rocks fall from heaven. And that to these people was a sign from God, of course. They didn't understand what was going on. So for them, it was a sign from God. Livy tells us it was a shower of pebbles. And to them, those who went there, they came back and claimed that they did hear voices from the mountain. And the voices were basically asking the Alban people, to not forget their customs. And in fact, when they came back and told the people this, the Albans started practicing their custom, which they had abandoned after being taken in by the Romans. And the Romans joined them in practicing these customs. Those customs basically became part of the Roman culture, basically. So what we don't know is whether it might be hard, because remember, Livy is also talking from, or is giving us this information as maybe third, fourth, whatever, in line of how this information was flowing down. He wasn't there himself. He lived very many years later, hundreds of years in fact. So he was getting this information from records and the stories that were being told around. So we don't know whether this actually happened or it's just a story that was created. And if it happened, maybe it was rocks indeed falling from the sky, which happens, of course. But that did happen, and it did have an influence of how Rome evolved.